Okay, so imagine this. It's 1990 and your friend invites you to go see an anime movie in theaters. Now, you've heard of anime, and for the most part you've thought of it as looking like this, or like this, so you're not expecting anything crazy. But then you get there and it's like, what is that? Oh my god! Look at the light. So these guys are pretty nice. These guys look like. Yeah. Oh, you're right. These guys are pretty cute. Never mind. And now you think anime is pretty cool. In a nutshell, that is Akira. If you grew up in the 80s, you probably at least heard the name going around. And if you've ever talked with an anime fan, they've most likely talked about it. But the question is, why? Why is Akira hailed as ground zero for anime in America? Okay, let me back up. It's not like anime didn't exist in the US before Akira, and feature-length animated films had been on the market now since Snow White in 1937. It was fairly easy for anime to transition from Japanese markets to American, starting with Astro Boy in 1963, and it was easily mostly because the characters didn't really look Japanese. They looked pretty American anyways, and the dubbing could be done fairly easily. The publisher for the Akira manga, which the movie was based on, saw a market for high school and college students, as well as children. The manga, which was written from 1982 to 1990, was a huge hit in Japan, which is important because it means it was popular enough to warrant a movie. And not just a movie, but the most high-tech, high-budget feature-length anime to date. It cost 1 billion yen to make, or 8 million USD. Adjusted for inflation, this is about $18 million. Now, this is nothing compared to modern animated films like Puss in Boots: The Last Witch, with its budget of 130 million USD. But for back then, it was huge. Another animated movie staple, Ghost in the Shell, was acclaimed as just dripping with style. It was produced for only 330 million yen, or about 6 million USD adjusted for inflation. The high budget definitely shows in the animation. The industry standard for animation is to animate on the 2s and 3s, meaning every second or third frame is drawn on. Basically, it means 8 to 12 frames per second. Akira was animated on the 1s and 2s, meaning 12 to 24 frames per second, which is how you get animation as smooth as this. This means that it would also look great on the big screen. And to the theater it went, and it actually flopped. It made about 20,000 USD, or about 32,000 adjusted for inflation. Worldwide, it made about $2 million in cinemas. It didn't even come close to the $8 million they spent on the project. So then, why is this movie hailed as ground zero for putting anime on the map in America if it didn't even do that well? Well, when you think about it, it makes sense that it flopped. I mean, who's gonna go see an adult cartoon? Especially if you weren't in the anime scene already. Akira was the first mass release of an anime that pandered to adult audience, and it did it really well. It pandered to America with car chases, explosions, action, atomic bomb references. Okay, maybe not that one, but you get the point. It was reviewed in 1990 by Janet Maslin, who had great things to say about the film. She said, "It is a phenomenal work of animation with all the hallmarks of an instant cult classic. Its post-apocalyptic mood, high-tech trappings, thrilling artwork, and wide array of bizarre characters guarantee it a place in the pantheon of comic strip science fiction. And Never resorting to the gaudiness of much ordinary animation, Mr. Otomo uses a wide range of colors in thoughtful, interesting ways, and he enlivens the film with a constant sense of surprise. Naturally, Akira will be the most appealing to the specialty audience willing to unravel its well-developed and highly complicated plot. It opened the doors for films like Ghost in the Shell to have an audience, the box art including the statement, "The best film since Akira." No longer would the US look at anime as just children's cartoons. The new wave of anime was coming, and it would be mature, gritty, and stylish. So basically, there would be no cool Japan without Akira. Japanese pop culture wouldn't have grown as large as it has today. All because of one crazy good, beautiful flop of a cinema release, known as Akira.